Okay, I kept on talking, somehow I forgot it. But anyhow, record on this computer.
Recording in progress.
Okay, anyhow, I just recap it quickly. So we learnt how to create a database. This is the database icon. When you click this one, it will open a dialog box. That is where we specify the database name. So it will generate the script automatically to create the database. Or else you can come to the command prompt. You can command prompt create database. Let's test 22 something like that. Already I have test database. That is the reason why I am going to create a database with different name. Create database test 22. Okay, now if I say show databases, test 22, test 33. So we can use database, create database, this command, create database the reserved word. Okay, this can be anything. Okay, and here also create schema. Using these two commands we can create the database in simple term. We can create two databases. We can create the databases with the different commands. One is create database, other one is create schema. But when you create the database using the front end, for example, here I am going to create test 44, and if I apply this one here, and if I apply this here, create schema. See, in the front end, instead of using database, it uses schema here, right? So you can use database also, okay, and apply another database got created. What was the database name? Test 44. This is the one I created it. New database. Now you understood. But if you go to the command prompt, you can use either this command to create the database, or you can use this one. Both of them are same. You can use the database. You can whichever name you want it, you can use it. Okay. But the rule is don't use the system database name. What is system? What are the system databases are there? Performance schema, information schema, MySQL, and what is the other one? SYS, right? Yeah, in these four names you are not supposed to create the database. Okay, other than these four names, you can use any name to create the database. Either you can create it via Workbench or you can create it, but you need to have the admin access. Since you are installing it in your laptop, you will have a privilege to. Since you are admin, you can do everything. You can create database, you can drop database. For example, if you want to drop database test 33. I don't want to have so many database. Drop database test 44. Yes, I don't need it. You can drop the database. Drop schema test 1. Instead of using drop database, you can use drop schema also. Now you just cross check whether the databases got dropped correctly. Yes, test 1 is not there. Drop database test 22 and drop database test, drop database probably retail, drop database demo. I don't want to have so many databases. Show databases. The creating the database is not your headache, it is somebody else's headache. But we have to do some kind of testing. We need to learn how to create table, how to insert the data, how to update the data, because in the real-time scenario you are not going to work only with the Power BI. Table creation and all, you are not going to do it there. The tables are stored here, multiple tables are stored here. Using Power BI you import all the tables, but you need to have some connection. Using that connection you can connect it. But there are certain things you can do it at the server side itself. Joining 3 or 4 tables or 10 tables. Let's say each table volume of the data is 5 million, 10 million, 20 million. You can do all kind of joining operations. You can do it in the database server itself. Okay, and then the output will be whatever the output you are getting it, right? Probably you can store it in a file or so that you can use it in your Power BI. In real time, what will happen is we will be joining multiple tables. The output of that table will store it in some file, and that file will be merging with another file. Okay, another 3 or 4 files. That one will be again we'll be applying some business logic. We'll be creating some new columns. We call that as a derived columns. The term derived columns says we create that column. We created the derived column based on the existing columns with some formulas. For example, as I told you in the last session, you have the quantity and unit price is there in your source system file or database, or let's say sale amount is there. You wanted to create a new column for profit. To create a profit, can you create the profit directly? You can create just like that, profit, alter table name, you can add a new column. But how about the values? How about the value? Sales minus cost, simple formula. Let's say, let's take a simple one. Sales minus cost is my profit. But you already have sales column, you already have a profit column. Sorry, you have the cost column, sales column, cost column, already you have it in a database. You need to subtract this one to get the profit. So this is simple formula, sales minus cost, profit. Right? That is one derived column. The profit is the derived column because the profit column was derived by subtracting the cost from my sales column. That is called derived column. Fine? You got it or not? Jamal, are you able to understand or not?
Yes.
You need to create that. So that is called your derived column. You applied some logic based on which you did it, right? So yeah. So very simple thing. So that's a derived column. New feature you need to create it, and also you need to create foreign key constraints, primary key constraints. We'll go step by step. So the next one, see, we learned how to create the database, how to create simple tables, how to insert the data also we learned. Adding a new column. How do I add a new column? For example, here I have let's describe the customer table. It is there. Okay. Now I want to add a new column as suggested by Shaitra. Alter table customer, add, I am going to say now address var of 45. Address can be null or it can have some value, or you can say not null also. Now I am going to, instead of typing it, I am just pressing up arrow, describe. See, the new column address got included in my existing table. Are you all with me or not? Please concentrate here. Alter table, add the new column. Okay, I have 45. And also I am going to add some other detail, email and some other details you can add it. Probably balance, right? Balance in his account. For example, alter table customer add balance, numeric value. Balance in his account. So here I am going to say hint. Okay, I am going to create it. Now if I say describe customer, balance is int. So now I realized the data, the column balance cannot be int, it should be a decimal. So what I am going to do is I am going to say decimal. This is another data type, decimal column, as the name says 10,2. So here I will have to use modify here. Modify. Yeah, the syntax here is modify balance. Modify.
Sir, this table sir was created in the rate card, right? Previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, same also likewise I'm also created, but describe customer and enter the same. But tables are not showing, sir.
Yeah, what you do is, should just show me the output. Show databases. Show databases. Is there right?
Yeah.
Can you see
Yes, sir.
credit card? Did you create this one? Is it
Yes, sir.
visible, right? So now
Yes,
what
sir.
you do is
It is,
just
sir.
go inside credit card.
Use credit card.
Yeah, use credit card and use credit card and show tables. Show database. Show table, something like that.
Unknown database break.
Unknown database, huh?
Yeah.
You did not create credit card database. Earlier you said you created, it is visible, right? Show databases. When you just retype once again, show databases. Can you see this name?
Yeah, sir. Unsee credit card.
Then how can you say unknown database? It is, use credit card. Can you do this? Others, please bear with him. Yeah, it's a derived date of birth and yes, Ashwini, yes, you are correct, right? We can create date of birth column. We can we can create a new column by the name of date of birth, and then we can create date. We will see date data type. So now we understood where data type is to store the character values, and we can use int to store the integer value, and decimal, we can use decimal to store the decimal values. It will have the integer and the decimal values in it. So are you able to see this one? Karthik, use credit card, database changed. Are you getting it or not?
No, sir.
Okay, what you do is you just do one thing. Create database credit card. You just type it once again. Press enter. Press enter. Maybe I don't know. So if you have created with it is not case sensitive.
Create credit card.
Create database credit card. Can you see my screen? Follow strictly whatever I mentioned. Right? No, he says Baswaraj. He says he is. One second, let me just. No, he says, Karthik says, first of all, the credit card database is not there. Is that true, or the database is not there, or table is not there, Karthik? Yeah, Baswaraj, what he said might be correct. No, can you see the database or not? You see, first of all, is this working or not, Karthik? See, database is different, table is different. Are you talking about table or database?
Database, sir.
Database itself not there, huh? Okay. Can you try this one? Create database credit card. Same.
Yes, I'm trying. Same, I'm trying. But there is a space, start space credit card. Create it.
Oh, you gave space, right? That is the problem. See, don't leave space and all. Okay, if you leave space, but first of all, if you leave space, it will throw an error, na? It will not allow you.
I'm trying one day.
Yeah. That's why strictly follow whatever. If I don't leave space, don't leave. Okay. First understand, and then you try with the various combinations. Okay, very possible. There is some naming standard you need to follow when you use the database name and table name and all. So that the database name or table name, you should not have the space in between. It should be continuous. And also you cannot have something like, so I think number is possible, underscore or something, some rule is there. Yeah, it's possible. Everything you can do it, but only thing is you cannot leave space. Or you can you start with some special character, dollar credit card? That is also possible right here. But don't leave space, okay? Got created?
Yeah, there is showing create databases credit card, right, sir? Okay.
Column names, yes, we can leave space, Basavaraj. Yes, column names we can have space, but table name or database name or stored procedure or stored function, you cannot have space in it. Okay, the name of the object should not be space. Okay, but
We
inside
have
the object, whatever the columns that you give, it can have space. Karthik, are you through with this? We all waiting for you only. Have you created this? Is it working or not?
you have error in your SQL syntax. Check manually and corresponds to the MySQL server.
You are getting some error, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you connected this meeting via your laptop, right? Or mobile
No,
phone?
you want you want connect? I will connect 1 minute.
Yeah. I don't know what why you are getting that error. Or do one thing, my friend Karthik. You just go to MySQL Workbench.
Yes, sir.
You just select this icon at this moment.
1 minute. Yeah, new schema, right?
Yes, new schema. Here you specify the credit card. Don't leave space, okay?
Okay.
If you want, credit underscore card you can give, okay? Credit underscore card you can give, okay? Or you can give and then apply it, okay?
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Apply. If I give apply, can you see something like this? See, always, especially the freshers, those are completely new into programming. I request you to please join the Zoom meeting via your laptop, not via your mobile phone. Okay, so that I can ask you to share your screen. I can help you out. We can finish it fat. See, we can. I don't want to rush, but still we should also be reasonable, right? Sorry. Good that the session being recorded.
Why wasn't added to account number and other stuff? Like,
because we did
why
not
you were
leave
adding it
space.
only into the phone number?
That's what we did not leave space, right? See, if you leave space between the column name, then you need to use oblique. Here we did not leave any space, isn't it? You can use underscore.
Okay.
Right? C name, I did not leave any space. It is continuously I typed it. Here also I continuously typed it. But here,
So to recognize it as one word or like
yeah, to recognize,
something like that.
right? See, there are situations. Yes, let's say your manager says, no, I want the name to be like this only, right? But still, you want the phone number column, the column name for the phone number should get stored like this way. You need to use oblique. The oblique will ignore the space.
Okay.
Or it will, it will not ignore. Actually, the SQL engine, when you specify the column like this inside the oblique, it will think, oh, so these two are same column, single column.
Okay.
Karthik, have you done this? Are you able to create this table? Or else not a problem. Okay, you watch my video and then you create it. So now you understood, right? Column name. When we will try the same here. So we will go to same way you can try with Workbench also. Okay, I don't have to try everything here. So it's a credit as a database. I don't want to create so many databases. For example, here in the credit card, I'm going to look here. I'm going to say tables. When you select the tables or the the customer database, right? So here if I go here, okay, let's say here I'm going to So when you select this one, the spanner kind of thing, right? That is where you can go back and add some more columns here. For example, here you need to do it again here. Yeah, so you need to make it down arrow, and then you can select it here. If you want to add any, see here, look here, the account number space is there, right? So when you do it in the workbench, MySQL workbench, you can leave space. It takes care automatically. Why it takes care automatically? Very simple thing. When you apply this, what happens? Look here, email ID, right? Email ID, I have okay, account number. Okay, let me do one thing. I just leave space here, email ID. Even if I leave space here, if I apply it here, look here, it puts the oblique, right? By default, it automatically put the oblique sign to your column. Whichever column you have blank space here. Earlier it was not there. When I used email ID without space, I'll just show you once again. I don't know how far you have watched it. So look here. Here also it uses oblique only by default. Okay, adding a column by default it uses oblique only. Okay, oblique only. But if you go to the command prompt, you don't have to specify oblique for everything. But only for those columns you leave space. Column names you leave space, you will need to specify this one. Okay, but here you don't have to give, but for everything it gives oblique, according to oblique, everything it put, whether you leave space or not, so that you will not have any confusions. Logically what he does is correct only, right? So this is the one, this icon you can click it to make changes to the structure of your table. This is the structure of your table. You can add columns, you can modify the columns, and if you use this icon, you can say, you can write a query here, or you can say this is the one selects all the thing, and you can add the values here. You can insert the data here, whichever mode you prefer it. I will leave it to you. But most of them, the developers, they prefer MySQL Workbench only. For example, let's say here credit card customer, where customer name, where I'm going to say customer name. But one advantage with the command line is you will learn all the nitty-gritties, like I told you. So in case of any space, how to execute it, how to make it part of this one. Customer name is equivalent to Ashok. See, look here you can write your query and then go to query and execute, or you can use Control Shift Enter. Control Shift Enter also you can use it, it will get executed. So you can execute the query here itself. You can make the changes to the column table structure, and you can insert the data here itself. You can modify the data, you can delete the records, everything you can do it. And also you can write a query here itself. Most of them, they prefer this way only. For column name, yes, Yashishwani, it takes by default it assigns, right, the oblique. When you create the table or modify the table, it takes the default thing. So other experienced people, please bear with us. You know already how to create a table, everything. Okay, but probably 1 or 2 sessions, right? Next 3 to 4 sessions, it will be a very basic thing. Once these people are come up to speed, we will probably step up the pace. So now you understood how to insert. Those of you are Google Chrome URL, you just type this one, github.com. It will not take much time. Try to improve your typing speed also, so that your productivity will be very good. github.com fantasy 200k power-bi. If you go to this site, I uploaded this one. Just open it. Just simply copy it. Look here. I just simply copy it. copy and then go to command prompt, paste it. So now what happens here, the department table, this table has a foreign key to department table. I will tell you what is that one later. So okay, what I will do is, I made a mistake. We will go step by step here. In the interest of those do not know RDBMS, first you start with EMP and constraint and all. I am going to remove it now. This is enough. Okay, create table EMP. Okay, and then create table depart. You can use the command prompt, or you can use MySQL Workbench also, okay, to create this one. So what I am going to do is, I am going to delete this file. Deleting is not possible here, right? Yeah, here itself I can modify it. What I will do is, I will just simply delete it. I will just copy paste it. Karthik, for you I am doing it, okay, because you are completely new into programming, and you scroll down, commit changes, and also would suggest you all to create an ID in github.com, and then probably you can clone all the scripts whatever is there in my link to your thing, so that for future also it will be good. You don't have to depend on me. So now if I go back to my Power BI folder, look here, lab01.sql, you select this one, you can find the modified script. Just go here and copy it. For this, yes, you can just simply check the manual that corresponds to primary key. Oh, here I should not have mentioned comma here. 1 second, I will edit it here. Commit changes. Just go now. You go to my the thing and just simply copy. See, the table got created. FAT. So now you can. How do you check the table structure? Karthik, which command you use it? Describe. Very simple. What are the columns are there? What are the corresponding data types for each columns? We have used it, and whether the column names are null. The no means this column should not have any null values, and the key is primary key, and ignore about this one. Okay, default external, ignore it, and look at this one up to this key. Okay, here the rest of the columns are non-key columns. So here they mentioned about key, PRI. PRI stands for what? Primary key. Emp number is a primary key column. It should not have any missing values or null values or blank values in it. Next one is, you can use insert statement, insert command. Okay, so how do you use insert command? I'll just copy paste that one also into your script there. Yeah, so this is the one. Insert into, first we will check whether this script is working fine or not, so that I will, yes, good. So now I inserted this one. Very easy to copy paste, but you should understand. See, look here, for example, in real time scenario, when you insert the data in this table, some columns you may not be knowing the value upfront, or your manager says some columns you need to assign null explicitly. So in that case, give null. All this must be caps, NULL. That means blank value. Okay, so null you can give it. Supposing you don't give a null here, it will throw an error. Look here, it will throw an error. Right? That is the reason why I need to give null here. So I am going to insert it once again. It throws an error. Duplicate entry, primary key. Okay, so the employee number, the first one already we stored. Once again, if I try to insert it, No, already it is existing. It you cannot insert the same value again. So it is duplicate violation. That means each person should have unique Aadhaar card. Okay. But again, the same person also you cannot insert it more than once. Hence, this is called what table? Master table. All of you, please. Okay, in this case, the employee table we cannot say master table. It's kind of a transaction table we can say. Select star from. Okay, we can say employee is a master table. Yeah, employee is a master table. Next, you can go to. 1 second, I'll just copy paste this everything, including this one. Okay, the freshers or the those of you who are completely new into programming, you can go to this my link and then simply copy paste it in your local thing. And then okay, that's all. I'm going to save it now. How do you save it? Scroll down, commit changes. The github.com is meant for version control. Okay, so you can you will get to know when I made what changes. You will get to know that when you use version control software. The interview they will ask you that one also. Okay, they expect you to be good at process aspect also. Look here, I just copy pasted it. Some error came, leave it. Okay, select star from EMP. Look here, 14 rows. How many records are there? These are called records. Record 1, record 2, record 3, record 4, something like that. Okay, select star from EMP where row num is equal to 3. But here there is nothing called row num. Okay, row ID is equivalent to 3. That is also not possible. Here there is nothing called row num. See, this is only available in Oracle. Row num equal to 3. Supposing I don't want to select all the records from the employee table. Okay, and limit 5. I just wanted to see the 5 records only. I don't want to see all the entire records from the first 5 records only. I wanted to see it. Okay, and how do I see the last 5 records? Shreyas, you were there in the last session, right? How do I see the last 5 records? So using limit command, we can restrict the number of records that has to be fetched, right? You put comma, sir. Where in my thing here? Primary key, did I put comma here? Yeah, here it should be there. You are talking about this one, right? Baswaraj? Because here, after primary key, I mentioned about the constraint, everything. Yeah. So I want you guys to practice up to this one. Okay? Fine. Once you are done with this, okay, what you do is, I will, you need to do, I will tell you the next step. First, you understood this, right? We will see how to, select the specific number of first 5 records. Supposing you want to select, suppose your master wants, your manager sitting next to you wants to say, hey, you display the first 6 records. Let me 6.
If you want to change one number in this table, can you change?
What is it?
There is showing it is not done it duplication, right? So if you insert in one, for example, 7369, with clerk, right? There is a some spaces coming from CLER space K.
Oh, you want to change the column value, right?
Right.
Yeah, that is possible. That is possible. That's why I told you you can.
Possible, but this duplication is taken or not, sir?
Yeah. See here, this is the key column. What is the key column here? Primary column. Which one is the primary key column? Karthik or Jamal? Can you tell me which one is the primary key column in this table?
Employee number.
Okay. How do you say this is the primary key? Is there any command that I can use it to check or to, is there any command I can use it to check, which column has primary? How can I see that? Karthik and Jamal, can you tell me? Including Shreyas. How will you find out which column has a primary key? Describe. Right? Describe EMP. When you see this is the primary key column. Other columns you can have, you can change the values. Okay, you can, instead of employee name, these are the non-key column. Non-key column you can modify it. Non-key column you can modify it. Okay, can I update the employee number instead of 7369? Can I use some other value? I need all your answer.
No.
Yes, we can update.
We can, right? We can update. Update M. See, all this scenario, you please remember it. Okay. That's the reason I'm calling out each and every person. Okay, and set. See, I'll just use the caps letter. Okay, update. What is the table name? M. And set all the caps letters, whatever you see, these are all reserved word. Okay, reserved means this is a command. Okay, set what is the emp number is equivalent to 7369. Instead of that 7444 something like that. This number is not there already in my database. Okay, where emp number 7369. Why should I use where here? Jamal or Karthik, can you tell me?
It's a condition to specify which record you want to update, not all.
Exactly. Super.
Yeah.
Karthik, you understood, right? Yeah.
Right, sir.
So I wanted to change the primary key value for the employee number 7369. But if I don't use where condition, what will happen is it will try to change the employee number for all the employees. So let's see if I insert it, if I execute it. When I press enter, it will get executed. If I see select star from, I don't want to see everything. Yeah, Smith 7369 earlier, but now the primary key value got changed. You can change the primary key value, but you cannot use you can change the primary key value, provided that whatever the new primary key number used by it should not be there already in our database or table. You understood? For example, where if I give 7444 for the employee number 74, I gave the wrong employee number. But if I give the same 7499, what will happen? Duplicate entry, because other person already has took this number. If you use the same number, it will become a duplicate, because the primary key column should not have duplicate values, but whereas non-key columns can have duplicate values. For example, this guy name can be Smith. Even this guy name can also be Smith. Okay, ideally we can add another column, first name, last name. We need to rename this column as a first name and add another column by the name of first name. I am going to create another column. How do I create another column? Alter table. See, if you watch here very clearly, right, you should tell all the commands also. Add last name, yeah, var of 45 or something like that. We are able to add. We did not get any error. Okay, how do I check whether this new column got added in my table? Karthik?
Describe.
Yeah, describe. That's it. Last name. The last name got added in my existing table. So what you do is this one will be blank. Probably you can go to workbench and then you can fill up the blank values for the last name. Give some name and all. Okay, test it. So the point here is the you can modify the primary key value provided that it should be unique. The whatever the value, new value which you are giving it, it should not be there already in your table. Now we have understood what is primary key. So can I create a primary key on only a single column? You can have more than one column also. For example, you have Aadhaar number column, employee number, Aadhaar number, both put together you can create a composite primary key. Okay, so now you understood how to insert the data, how to modify the data. Now we will see how to create a foreign key reference to this. Okay. For example, in my case, employee table, I will select the data here. Listen very carefully. With this, I am going to wrap up. Okay. Sorry, I took much of your time. Even I have a lot of work is there. Okay, so 20, 30. So this Smith belongs to depart number 20, and this Jones, he belongs to depart number 20, and the rest of them belong to depart number 30. So now if I say, if somebody is asking you, oh, Smith belong to which department number, which department, can you say 20, 30? This is for our reference, we put it here, but you need to tell the department name, isn't it? So what I am going to do is I am going to create another table called department. It's already there in this script. Create table. Here also I am going to say the department number as the primary key. So each table has a primary key. Department table as a primary key, but here the primary key name is depart number, because depart number should be unique for this table. Employee number should be unique to this table, but employee name need not to be unique, right? Fine. The next one is department name. Select star from depart. This is the department. So if I ask you what is the department name where Smith belongs to, so what you will do? What you will do? Jamal, Karthik, Smith belong to depart number 20. Again, you will see the corresponding department 20 here. You do a lookup here. Okay, Smith belong to research department. And the rest of the guys belongs to department 30. That means those guys are belonging to sales table. So when you just looked at this department number here, and when you compared it here, right? See what you did, you just registered this number in your mind, and then you are doing this department number. You do a lookup of those department number in this department table. By doing a lookup in this table, you are able to get the supplementary information. What is supplementary? Those belong to 30, they are sales department. Those belong to 20, they belong to research department. Each department, you think only one guy will be there. More than one guy will be there, right? Sales, in this case, how many? 3 guys are Martin, Ward, and Allen. These 3 guys are part of sales department. Rest of them belong to research department. So if somebody is asking you, okay, I don't, let's say if you have 100 departments, you have 1 million customers are there, or 1 lakh customers, employees are there. Take for example in the case of TCS, 5 lakh employees are there. 5 lakhs employees are there. If somebody is asking you, I wanted to select, can you please give me the sales department employee's name? How will you give that? How will you give that? Somebody is asking you, can you give me the employees those belong to sales department? How will you give that? So you know very well department number 20 is the sales department, right? You can give like this, but you want the department name to be displayed. So in that case, you need to join these 2 tables, correct? Only when you join these 2 tables, there is a command called join. Okay, by joining these 2 tables based on the common columns between these 2 tables. What are the common columns between department and employee table? Jamal and Karthik.
Number.
Very good, department number. Right. So since we are using department number here in this employee table, right, these are all the foreign key to this table. So in this table we already defined the depart number as the primary key. Here we define these numbers as an employee number, but we have another department number. Can I define this also department number? No, right? Primary key. Can I define this also primary? No, right? Because this depart number already I defined it as a primary key in another table. Correct? So now what I have to do is I need to tell this table, hey, whatever the values are there, these are all the foreign key to this table. So alter table. Look here, the script is there. Yeah, I will update it completely. Alter table emp. Yeah, it is there already. So you need to use this syntax here. Alter table. I remember the syntax still. Alter table emp. Add constraint. FK depart number. Foreign key. Foreign key. Foreign key. You need to give parenthesis depart number. References. You need to give references. You have something called references. Which table? Department table. In this employee table, the employee table, the department number, this references to the foreign table depart. Right? So this is the foreign key. This is a foreign key because this key comes from outside of this table. This key comes from outside of this table. Which table? From this table. This one. Right? Let's say you have something. Let's say if you put something 60 here, 60 has no matching value here. That is called anomaly. You cannot put some junk value there. Whatever value is there in your department table, whatever value is there in your department number, right? That value should be there here. Okay. So alter table name, add. So you can ignore this one at this moment. Foreign key. In the employee table, the department number is a foreign key because it references department. Near depart at line 1. Okay.
So
here,
department table is the present department number.
yeah. Alter table emp add constraint FK department foreign key department references depart number. Yeah, here I need to specify the table name, references. See, whenever you make mistake, right? When using my script, when you correct it, you should revisit it. What mistake I made it. That is how you can learn it. Here I did not specify the department table. See, the depart is the table name, isn't it? It is not the column name. So which table, which column, this department number of my employee table references. See, they have given very good clarity here, right? The employee table, department number is a foreign key. It references foreign key. If you say foreign key alone, it's not sufficient. Reference to which table? Maybe this department number will be there in another table also. Right? So you need to tell very clearly. Okay. So the department number is a master table. Why we call it a master table? Each record is very unique here. Department number, right? In this, using the department number, we can uniquely identify each record in this table. And similarly, using the employee number, we can uniquely identify each employee. Okay. And again, using the department number which is there in the employee table, so here it is not unique. The foreign key need not to be a unique value. Remember this also. Primary key should be unique. That means it should not have duplicate. But foreign key can have duplicates in it. Because all the employees cannot belong to same department, right? So each employee can belong to, or a single department can have multiple employees in it. For example, 30 is the sales department. Sales department has more than one employee, hence in the employee table the foreign key value can be non-unique. It will be non-unique only. It can have multiple entries in it. So this is the master table, and for the employee this is the master table. But for the employee table, whatever the department values you are having it here, for this the lookup table is department. We can say that way also. Lookup table is department. Why? Because a lookup table, to get the department name, you need to look up this value in this table. Hence, we can also call this a lookup table. So many terms I used it. In star schema also it will be somewhat similar, but in the case of star schema we do denormalization. Here when I touch upon data model, we will discuss about the normalization as well as we will discuss about denormalization. Okay, but you need to understand first of all what is a master table and what is the transaction table, something like that. Okay. So we will discuss about the master table, detail table. Instead of saying transactional, we say detailed, master detail. In those days, we use this term master detail table. Master table will have unique records in it, like this. Okay, probably right. This is a detail table. So here, each department can have more than one employees in it. One to many relationship. These two table have one to many. Here one record, but here you have multiple record, one to many. So how to create a foreign key? But in a single command itself we can create it. Look here. So in the single table itself I created this one, right? Primary key, comma, constraint. This is another way of doing it. Either you can specify the foreign key constraint inside the table creation script of your employee table itself, or you can likewise like I did, right, step by step, just create all the column alone. Okay, and then you can create the primary key and then you can add the foreign key. But if you want to modify the table, supposing you want to add a new column, use alter table, isn't it? Karthik and Jamal. Similarly, let's say I forgot to add the foreign key. Later point in time I want to make changes to my existing table. Alter table, you need to use it. But here the command is different. Alter table, add constraint. This is the reserved word. Okay. So why should I use this one? Without this also it will work. Because later point in time, if you wanted to drop this constraint, right? So you can, it will be very easier. Alter table name, drop constraint name. If you give this, it will get dropped. Okay, I don't want to talk too many things because we have freshers also there. Okay, and first you create like this. Whatever I have given here, you just try it in your thing. Okay, and then you insert the values here. And when you experience or when you encounter any errors, you just send me that. Okay, I will try to help you out whenever I am free. I'll help you out. But this one you try it later. From line number 43, you try. Skip the line number 43, right? So you try only this one. Alter table, employee, add, depart number references. This one also will work. Look here. Here I did not use add constraint. Okay. Without that also you can create the foreign key. But this is the best practice. So whenever you add a new constraint, the best practice is you need to specify the constraint name also. This can be anything. Okay, you can give, but it should be very meaningful. FK underscore department number. Alter table, employee, drop foreign key. How do I drop the foreign key? Foreign key, see, very simple. If I want to drop this one, all I have to do is just specify the constraint name. FK underscore department will be dropping. So now the question is, why should I create a foreign key? Why should I drop? This is just for you to understand how to drop, how to add the constraints to the table. But in general, this is the best practice. Okay. So employee table. In the employee table, we have department number. That is the foreign key to this table. It is not a primary key to this table. It's a foreign key to this table. But it references the department table, department. That's all. It's as simple as that. Right? You ignore this script. I will put it after this one. So now the question is, do I have to specify after creating the table the foreign key? No. Here itself you can specify. Primary key is employee number, comma, foreign key. But if you specify like this, first you need to create the department table because it references department, or when your table, if this table has no data in it, you can create it, but still the procedure is first create the foreign key table first, department table first, because that is the this table is referencing that table's department number column, right? So hence what you do is first create the department table and then you create this one. You understood, right? When you load the data in real time scenario, first you need to load it in the primary key, in the master table, and then you need to load it, because this table is depending on department number. Since you have mentioned the foreign key constraint here, when you insert the data here, when you create the table, or when you insert the data here, it will go and check whether the department number, the corresponding department number is already there in your department table. If it is not there, what will happen? You throw an error. So first you need to load the dependent table and then you need to load this table. So now you understood there is a dependency in terms of, this is what we need to take care of as part of ETL process. I am going to cover SSIS also after completion of Power BI, because that is the one will add more weightage to your profile. Most of them still think Power BI, if I learn it, you will get, no. Even freshers, they know they learned Power BI by attending some training somewhere, right? So your profile should stand unique. That's a complementary part. I will cover SSIS. SSIS is for loading the data, cleaning the data, right? So in that case, the scheduling part also coming into picture. How did you schedule it? Like, the beginning of the session, Mohan was asking the data, this one, the gateway installed it, right? That's what he said. So in that case, the gateway is for, the data, the data refresh, okay, incremental refresh, and we have, full table refresh, likewise, right? So when you load the data on a daily basis, data will be coming in, okay? Let's say, where you recruited employees, TCS, they recruit the employees in August month. Does that mean, or the October month, does that mean November month are they not going to recruit any employees? Every month they are recruiting the new employees. And also there will be some internal process. They will create some new practice. They will assign these employees to that new practice. That practice may be a new department. So in that case, a new department name should be created in the department table. Okay, it is already, I consume much of your time, sorry. Okay, I took almost 10:30, 11, 2 hours, sorry. Okay, but anyhow, I compensated whenever, so sometimes I took break, right? So don't say, you took a break, you took a leave. I compensated with this, okay? So now you understood. Please watch my video. I will